Hello, Mario. Civil and Structural Drawing, DE 5202, Session 1, Introduction and Contouring. Hello and welcome to the Civil and Structural Drawing class, DE 5202, Session 1. And we'll go through the various aspects of the class. So let's just crack on with the this PowerPoint. Hopefully my head won't get in the way too much. So it's introduction and contouring. So this is me, Morris O'Neill. I'm Mario. My email address, morris.o'neill@wintech.ac.nz. And that's my cell phone number there, 027 294 5985. I'm contactable anytime. If I don't want to answer the phone, I won't. Message or text, email. I try to get back as soon as I possibly can. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But generally, email. I don't take a lot of notes. My memory is probably failing from time to time, so I work directly out of my inbox. So if you send me an email, likely is it'll make it into my inbox, and I will categorize it and get back to you at some point in time. I try to answer straight away just to let you know that I have received the email, but sometimes I don't. Pressure means that I don't. So just keep trying. You'll find a lot of the time you'll ask me things, I'll say send me an email. That will remind me of our conversation and I'll work from there. So the session plan for this week, you'll notice that we have a 3-hour session and then a 2-hour session. And so for the first session of the week, the 3-hour session, I'll introduce the session, go through what's going to go on, what's going to happen, what the situation is, pick up any feedback from previous sessions and what have you, and then we'll move on to the actual work. So in this particular session, being the first one, we'll be looking at the course introduction and getting various things started and off the ground. So we can need to sort of work on that. I'm just going to try and do some work to get my head out of the way there, so I can actually turn me off there. So just so that we can see that there. So as you can see, that's the first. Now the grey that I've put in there, that's the second session for the week. That's a 2-hour session. So what we'll do in that session is we'll come in, we'll sign the class register. There will be a Q&A, so any questions and answers session there generally, and then we'll get on with the work. In this case, the first session is basic 2D CAD project and weekly tasks, but that'll vary from week to week. So that's generally how it's going to go. In that time, I will be circulating around the class. It's my expectation that I will spend some one-on-one time with you each week to find out where you're at, to sort out any problems that you might have, to sort of inspire you to actually get up to date and do things, get things done, find out what's happening, that sort of thing. So it's my intention to speak to you, for a couple of minutes each week on a one-to-one basis. So that's what I'll be attempting to do in this course. All right, so let's move on now to the next thing there, and these are the learning outcomes, what I'm expecting you to learn this week. So on the successful completion of this session, you should have a holistic understanding of the course and tutor expectations. So a bit of an idea of how things are going to work out. You know, how it all meshes together. It might not be complete. It might be, you know, just an overview, not sort of lacking in a bit of detail, which you will be filling in yourself in your own time. But it will be, you know, a good understanding, and you'll know the key points of the course. You'll be able to access the course Moodle workspace. That's imperative that you do that. The whole course runs out of the Moodle space. All of my material that I use in the classroom is in the Moodle space. All of the material that you need to use in the classroom will be in the Moodle space, in the Moodle workspace. You should be in there regularly, every session here, plus in your unscheduled time. You'll have an overview of the course diary, and I see there we need to fix up the spelling there, so we'll do that now. Diary, there is not a there's not a course diary, unfortunately, so that will be DIARY. Okay, DIARY, yep, and we'll save that. Okay, and from the current slide, so we're back in business. Course diary expectations. I have done a separate video of those, outlining them in detail. An overview of the weekly worksheet tasks. Again, I'll be doing a separate video outlining in detail what's required there. The 5%, these are the amount of the total marks. So 5% of your marks in this course will be for the course diary. I should mention at this point that there is no examination in this course. Yeah, it's just all assessment, all internal assessment, the entire course. So there's no examination at the end. Did you hear that correctly? There's no examination at the end. But you do need to get work done, and there's a lot of work to be done. You'll get an overview of the weekly worksheet tasks and what's involved, and why they're there, and what purpose they serve. And also an overview of the basic 2D CAD project and how that fits into the course. So, and then you should have understood what to do before next week. So I will be operating I will have some expectations as to work that you need to have done before you come to class. This will be quite a simple work, generally watching videos, doing research, reading notes, that sort of thing, so that you come to class prepared. There's an expectation that you will come to class to be prepared. Hopefully, I will have sent out an email from the course news forum prior to you coming to class today, which will outline some of the things that I would like you to have done before you came to class today. And I hope that some of you have done them. However, well, there's no however. That's my expectation. If you don't meet that expectation, you're going to be right behind the, you know, you're going to be pushing it uphill right from the very start. So there is an expectation that you do stuff before you come to class. If you think you don't have to do stuff before you come to class, you're probably wrong. You should be looking up the Moodle site to find out what you got to do before you come to class. I'll do everything in my power to tell you what you have to do before you come to class, but I can't make you do it. Alrighty, moving right along. The course outline. Okay, so I've got a copy of the course outline here, and this is it here. It's available on the Moodle site, and we'll see that when we have a look through the Moodle site. So here's the course outline. But before we do that, we'll go back to the PowerPoint slide and we'll just move ahead, because what I have done here is given a diagrammatic overview of the course, and I see my head's in the way again, so I'll just get that out of the way. Alrighty, so first of all, it's a 15 credit course at 10 hours per credit. That's 150 hours. Okay, now there's actually 16 or 17 weeks, but let's just plan on 15 weeks with a little bit of slide for various things that could happen, and at 10 hours a week. So that's going to give us a good average fit with our there. So that's our expectation. Now, some of you will need 10 hours per credit. Some might need 15. Some might only need 8. This is just a general rule of thumb guide as to how many hours per credit you need. But that's the expectation. That's the workload that I'm giving you, civil and structural drawing. So in theory, you have 5 hours per week. 5 hours times 15 weeks is 75 hours. So directed, scheduled time, 75 hours per week. Self-directed, unscheduled, 75 hours or 5 hours per week. That's the expectation. 10 hours per week. 10 hours of work. 10 hours of chargeable time. If you were working for an employer, they would be 10 hours that they would expect to see you working. Not 10 hours watching you play games on the computer, or watch you watching YouTube videos of various celebrities or superstars or singers doing God knows what, but of actual work. So that's the expectation there. Alrighty, so let's go and have a look now at the course outline, which is available on the Moodle site. So there it is there. Now we'll just page down. This is just a bit of an index there. Here is some contact details. So there's me as your tutor, my contact details, which I've also provided earlier. The program coordinator is Aidan Biggett. So if you have any problems that you need to talk about with regards to the program, Aidan is your first port of call, and there's his contact details. If you find that you want to go higher than that, Trudy is the team leader, and there's her contact details. My expectation is that I should be able to sort out all your problems. However, we'll have to see about that. So if you do want to go up into there, there's the contact details, and that's the thing to do, is to work up through the steps there. And then there are people above these here, but I'm hoping that you won't need to go there at all. But, it does happen from time to time. All right, the course codes and summary. So the course code is actually DE5202. It's a level 5 course. It's 1/8 of a full-time course. That's for a year. So you do 4 papers per semester, and 4 and 4 is 8. So 0.125, an eighth of a year. 15 credits. The prerequisites, you should have done technical literacy. That's the prerequisite. Learning hours 150, directed 90, self-directed 60. I should change that. That should be 75 and 75. So I will amend that and get that sorted, so that that's all correct after this video. So I use these videos as a wee bit of a rehearsal in some stages. So that's finding these things as I go through, unfortunately. So I will correct those 75 and 75. The aim is to develop skills required to produce civil engineering and structural drawings. Indicative content, you can read that through there. And this here is the this here's the program or the weekly schedule. So we're going from weeks 30 to 46 essentially. First thing we start off with is the introduction, basic 2D CAD, and some weekly worksheets. Now, the weekly worksheets are intended to prepare you for the civil project, project that occurs after the basic 2D CAD. So the basic 2D CAD will introduce you to CAD drawing and give you sufficient skills for your CAD drawing then to continue on with your other projects. It might be opportune just to drop down a page here. So let's have a look at the overall structure of the course. So you've got your basic 2D CAD, which is 15% of the course, and there's the due date for that, 16th of October. You've got some worksheet tasks that you undertake up to the point where you start the civil engineering project, and those worksheet tasks are designed to prepare you and give you some information that you will use in the civil engineering project, or start to use in that. And so they're worth 15%. You've got a diary where you account for all your time on the course, worth 5%. Then the civil engineering project, which is the major project, it's the key project of the civil and structural drawing, the civil engineering project. And then there was 3 other projects, the concrete, wood and steel projects, all worth 15%. And they come thick and fast. So if we just in the second part after the midterm break. So up until the midterm break, we don't have any assessments due in as such. You can submit them and have them ticked off, but they essentially, the timing is due. I give you the midterm break to tidy them all up and get them all done and dusted, and then we start into, after the midterm break, we start finishing off the actual 4 projects, the civil, wood, steel and concrete. So each week we will be looking at the basic 2D CAD things, and then working through each one. Then after the midterm break, then things start to happen pretty quickly. You will have the civil project will become due, and then the concrete project after that was about 2 or 3 weeks for that. Then the wood project, a couple of weeks for that, and the steel project. And then all of these projects are due in at the start of exams, although there is some leeway with this. So I have set some deadlines there. They're the deadlines that I've set. I suggest that you aim for those deadlines, but as we all know that sometimes we don't meet those deadlines. So there is options to negotiate beyond those deadlines, but it's not recommended because you start getting further and further behind, and work keeps catching up on you. So one of the things that I want you to be doing is to be managing your workload, and in some regards I will be helping you with that, and that you will be managing your workload and sort of by the use of your diary, working out where you're at. So there will be a little project management tool or component of the of things that we need to that we will be working on. So that will be possibly added into the worksheets at this. Haven't finalised that at this point in time, but that will be coming, and that will be part of the task. So that will probably be an additional task number 25, but that's to be finalised as the course proceeds. So that's pretty much how it goes there in terms of that. As I say, I've already been through the assessment schedule and the dates there. At this point, they're not going to make too much sense, but you need to get them into your diary and start working to them and working out how you're going to do them, and then try and assess your workload against them based on other things that affect your lives. All right, learning outcomes are pass requirements, overall grade of 50% or better to pass this course. So you must get over 50%. The learning outcomes, there's 3. Produce civil engineering drawings to recognised standards. Produce structural concrete, steel and timber drawings to recognised standards. And produce drawings using computer-aided drafting techniques. So that's what we'll be looking at doing. And then we've got the usual administrative things here. Attendance. Attendance at all sessions. You should attend all sessions. Attendance tends to be a pretty good indicator of success. Successful students seem to have good attendance. If you're going to be missing, it's your responsibility to catch up. Most of the material will be covered on the Moodle site, but it's up to you to catch up and do it. If you miss out on worksheets, it's up to you to come and see me and get them, and that sort of thing. And you must, if you can let me know beforehand, that's good. You must, as I say, communicate. Let me know what's happening, whether you're going to be there or not, how you intend to catch up, and that sort of thing. Especially where you have commitments to other students through team activities or to the class and that sort of thing. Assignments and reports must be handed in by 11:59:59 on the due date. That's PM. If you cannot meet the deadline, you must submit a special consideration form available online from reception at Rotokauri prior to the due date. Late assignments may incur a loss of 10% of the total mark per working day after the due date. But we do need to work on these assignments and due dates. I am, as you know, flexible, but you've got to communicate and you've got to meet your own deadlines at least. Plagiarism, don't copy other people's work. Fairly simple. If it's not your work, be very, very careful. Don't put your name on it. Also, should be made clear that if you are aware that someone is copying your work and submitting it, you are equally responsible. So don't let other people copy your work. Keep your work covered. Don't leave it on the desk. There are people that go around with phones and photograph work and copy it and do that sort of thing. So be careful, be secure. If copies of your work are submitted by other people, it's going to be problems for you. So take care. Don't lend your work to other people. Don't even give them copies of their work so they can have a look and see what you've done. Be very, very careful. If you're unsure, contact me and I will assist you with advice in that area, and we can maybe discuss and work it out with all the parties concerned if there is a need to be looking and seeing work done. There are circumstances where these are, but they must be treated with great care because Wintec takes very seriously plagiarism of any form. Okay, so now we'll go back to our PowerPoint slide. I think that's pretty much looked at our course outline. And we're going to look now at successful student behaviours. Clearly, as a tutor, you will be aware that I have observed quite a number of students, and a number of those students have been quite successful. and so I have analysed their behaviour, and I'm pretty good at predicting the outcomes for students. So after about sometimes on the first day, I can tell whether a student's going to succeed or not. But generally after 3 or 4 weeks, their attitudes become apparent, and it becomes quite clear how they are going to perform and what their outcomes are likely to be. So I've compiled here a few little bits and pieces about successful student outcomes. Now the first one here is a very simple one, and it's 10 things that require zero talent. These things are so simple, anyone can do them. Okay? A lot of people don't do them, and they tend to be not successful students. So these are things that everyone can do. There's no reason why not. So being on time. Being on time. Work ethic. It's not difficult to work hard. Hard work brings rewards. So work hard. Effort. It takes no talent to make an effort. All you've got to do is make an effort. Your body language doesn't take any talent. You can be enthusiastic, happy, sad, or whatever. It's easy. Doesn't take any talent. Energy. Well, you have high energy. Be energetic. Pretty simple. Go to bed early. Get good 8 hours sleep. Attitude. An attitude doesn't take talent to have a good attitude, to be cheery, helpful. Things. Passion. Be really passionate about what you do. It takes zero talent. Being coachable. Listening to what people say, asking for advice. Coming forward with questions, making sure you know. Doing extra. Simple. Just do extra. Easy. And being prepared. Just being prepared doesn't require anything marvelous or no additional talent. Just be prepared. So there you are, 10 things that require zero talent. Engagement. Engagement. Why are you here? You must engage with the material. If you just draw a few lines in CAD, or I want to draw lines. I want to know how those lines go. I want to know why I draw thick lines and thin lines. I want to know why some lines go from here to there and not to there. I want to be able to draw circles. You've got to engage with the material. Be real. Want to do it. Engagement. A lot of us think maybe of engagement rings, or getting engaged to a girl. Well, you don't or a guy, you don't oh yeah, okay. You've got to want to do it. You've got to be, enthusiastic and really there. Otherwise, it's not engagement, is it? It's disengagement. So you've got to, if you're not happy with what you're doing, and you think, oh, this is boring, I don't want to do this. Well, that's not going to help. You've got to get in, find the excitement, make it exciting. Sometimes some parts of things are a bit monotonous and boring. So you make a game out of it. Say, well, I'm going to get 20 of these done by the end of the session. Or Fred Scott doing 18, well, I'll do 25. Repetitive press-ups is not that exciting, but if you going to try and do 30 and then find the guy next to you is doing 35, so you do 40, you can engage with it. You can make it thing there. So become engaged. What you're doing here should be important to you. and it should be what you want to do, and you should want to do it well and better than everyone else, and that sort of thing, and understand it and do it, not, to the best of your ability, but beyond that. You should be pushing to really understand this stuff. Now, evidence is very interesting. Now, you can be the best talker in the world, the best student in the world. You can come along and do all sorts of marvellous things with CAD or whatever. But if you don't do the paperwork, if you don't generate the evidence, if you don't get things ticked off, it's not going to be any good. I mean, I can acknowledge that some people may be able to do all sorts of things, but I need the evidence, because there's people looking over my shoulder and they're saying, well, you've given this guy here a B. Where's the evidence? How do we know how good he is and what he's doing? So I need to collect the evidence. You need to produce the evidence and give me the evidence. And the evidence needs to be in a format that I want. And generally that format is a single PDF document. So definitely this semester, people that send me 16 documents all in different formats and say, oh, here's my assignment, sorry, you'll be getting it back. One PDF document. I'll help you put it into one PDF document, but I'm not going to be doing it myself as I have done in the past for some of you. It will be sent back to you. One single PDF document. We have the technology here at Wintec. You might not have it at home or in your garden shed or at your sister-in-law's flat or whatever, but we have it here in Wintec, and it is available to you to come in and use and get it done. So it's a matter of getting it organised. And if you don't know how to do it, I am available to help you with it. So yes, one single PDF document, unless otherwise stated or negotiated with me. Understood? I hope so. All right. Now, these are little slides that I put in each week. Is your diary up to date? So I will check that each session to remind you that you need to keep your diary. And in that, you will be doing your planning and project management of the various things you have to do. So this is like a little weekly wake-up call. Your worksheets are up to date. Are you progressing with the worksheets? You need to progress with the worksheets and get them up to date. So this is Salvador Dali's picture, the persistence of time. So you don't want your worksheets melting away or floating off into the ether. So important that you keep things up to date and manage your time. Okay, basic 2D CAD. Oops, I'll get rid of my head there. So basic 2D CAD. Again, it's a little. You need to keep up to date with that assignment. So that's sort of the current assignment that you're doing. I will be going around and talking to you on the one-to-one and getting some things signed off and things like that. But it's imperative that you keep up to date with this, because this is the foundation on which we build your knowledge of the other projects. So important that you get that up to date. All right, and what's new in Moodle? What's new in Moodle? So that's the pretty much the end of my PowerPoint presentation as such. So what we'll do now is we'll go and have a look at the Moodle site and see what's happening there, and that'll sort of wind up this introduction. So let's go to the Moodle site here, and this is the dashboard here. So when you go into your Moodle, you should see something like this, and you should see civil and structural drawing as your thing there. So let's click on that. So this is the course, and here it comes here. Now this is the front page, and you can see that it takes a while to load. I don't know why that is. This has been a bit of a problem with this particular course here for quite some time. You'll see I've got a bit of a sparkling disco jacket on there. That's to do with lighting and that. So there's the course outline coming up there now. And if you just click on that, that'll take you to the course outline, which we saw earlier. Here's the news forum. And in here is all of the emails that I send out in the news forum. So here's the first email that I sent out quite early on saying that I'd set up the course and rolled it over and that sort of thing like that. So yeah, that's all there like so in there. So that's where the course is there. I don't know why all that stuff's there. Oh, have I got I don't know. There it is there anyway. So we just arrow back from there and go back. Oh, that's the forum there. All right, back and back. Okay, I'll turn the editing off. That's probably more likely what you're going to see. I've got some things here hidden, so you won't be able to see those. So there's some of my functionality that I have. So that's our welcome to the course there. And you see it's still grinding away, trying to turn on the course outline. So we'll go to the assessment page. And here, here's where I've got various assessment results in here. So there's nothing in there. And here's the 2017 assignments here. The basic 2D CAD challenge. Now, there's a separate video introducing that, and the basic 2D CAD challenge. This is the actual assignment for that there. But essentially, if you click on here, this will take you to a separate course, which is the basic 2D CAD, and this will take you to it. Here's the assignment, and these are a series of videos that you follow through, but there is a whole separate video on that which explains the course by way of an introduction. So we'll go, that'll be up in here, and no, it's not, it's in here, and it's just here. There's a video there. No, task videos. Oh, is it under assessment here? Oh, here it is here. So this video is a briefing for the course, which it shows you how that all works and fits together. Okay. To get back from there, you go back and back, keep going back, and you go into here. Now down into here, there's the course diary, and the diary is available here, and there's a video for a briefing on the diary, which explains, goes through the diary and explains how that all works, and a little bit of an update here. So that's an update video, just based on my experiences last semester with the course diary. So that's all in there, and diary assessment criteria. Civil project, we're not up to that yet, so these are all the 2016 versions, and I'll update those to 2017 as time goes on. So essentially at the moment you will have the basic 2D CAD that you're working on, course diary, and the weekly tasks. So if we come up into here into session 1, okay, you will see in here session 1, that's the session plan, which I've talk to you about, and that's in the PowerPoint that I went through earlier, and this is the PowerPoint here. Now here are the weekly tasks for this week, and there'll be a video in here introducing the Infrastructure Guru video here, but these are just little tasks that are associated with each week, and there will be a handout for those, a handout of those available for you in hard copy. And here you'll find the resources that you need to work out these various things here. So they're the weekly tasks, and these are the various resources that you'll need for those, and the Infrastructure Guru. So there will be a video in there ready for that. So that's taking in here. Note that there's answers to the weekly tasks. So my expectation is that you will look at the tasks and work out how to do them, and then see how you're going by reference back to the answers. So the first few tasks are all about contours. There's a little contour test there, and I'll put a note in there about the little contour test. These maps here are available online, so I recommend that you actually get to the online version rather than the worksheet version, which is likely to be in black and white rather than in colour. But yeah, they're available online and on the course here as well. So yeah, that's them. And then each session will be through here. The cul-de-sac videos relate to the civil project, the basic 2D CAD to the basic 2D CAD project there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's probably I enter the Moodle course each week, so that's probably enough for this week. Our Tech Talk here just gives you a few little bits and pieces of information that might be helpful. That needs to be updated there into 2018 or 2017, whichever version it is that we have on the computers at Wintech. So that's there. So as you can see, the Moodle site is a dynamic sort of site. If there are little problems, I get people to just email me and tell me that there's a problem, and I'll eventually get round to sorting it out. So the Windows snipping tool, YouTube channels, all sorts of various bits and pieces there for you, and I recommend that you take time to look through and do these things. So yeah, there you go. I think we'll end up this basic introduction there. It's gone for some 43, 44, 45 minutes, gone through all of the an introduction to the course, a bit of an overview, which you know, should be of some use to you, and I'll put it into a playlist and on my YouTube channel, Mario, available on YouTube, obviously. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, which will then give you notifications as to when new videos come out, and make it easily to locate old ones and such as that, as well as keep up to all the other things that I do on my channel, which may well involve you, and they may not. Good luck with that. Cheers. See you.